So a few weeks ago, I was on a conference call, and one of the callers brought up a situation that no matter what they say to their sister lately, it's just like they can't get through to them, and there's just always chaos. And the prophet has said something when responding to this caller, to the point where I took note and I was like, that's going to be really important when dealing with relationships or friendships with people. What she said was, you have to know what season someone is in. You have to understand the season a person is in when dealing with them. And I was like, wow. And I thought about it more over the weeks, and that is very important. It's really important for us to understand what season someone is in when we're dealing with them, because you have to know how to come to a person according to their season, because if you don't understand that, it can cause conflict and cause chaos. For example, if you had your homegirl or whoever, and you two were always partying, and every time you were around them it was just fun, and you were cracking jokes and everything was all good, that's what you're used to. That's the friendship you're used to with that individual. But let's say this person, this friend you had, their season has shifted. Things have gone on in their life. Their husband has left them. They lost a loved one. Their financial situation changed. You can't come to them every time you're seeing, let's go party and this and that, and just always in celebration mode. That's going to be, it's going to cause a conflict. They might start to see you as insensitive to their situation. They may be offended that this person doesn't care about me because I'm going through all of this and they're still cracking jokes and laughing, and I don't feel like laughing right now. And it doesn't mean that you have to change the persona of who you are, but you do need to deal with that person according to what season they're going through. You have to understand, I need to dial this back. You need to understand they're going through something right now that isn't complimentary of what we're used to. So let me step back and shift how I deal with this friendship. You're not changing you, you're just changing your approach. It's just like when the seasons change. Yes, in June we're walking around in bikinis and things on the beach, but if you decide to take a walk on the beach in January, you're not going to have on a bikini, because you know you have to dress for a different season. You're still the same individual, but your clothes had to change. How you came to the beach had to be changed. So it's the same thing with dealing with people. We have to understand. And sometimes it's not that they go through tragedy, but there's a maturity that takes place. They're just going somewhere else in their life, and it doesn't mean they want to cut you off. But if you're coming to that person in that season and you're not considering where they are, then it causes a problem, and you don't want to do that if that's someone that you truly value as a friend. Because going into, some biblical foundation, and if we go to Proverbs 18 and 19, it tells us that it is harder to win back the friendship of an offended brother than to capture a fortified city. What you don't want to do is get into a situation with someone you value, you trust, that you love, and you want around, and offend them. And we do it all the time, and it may not just be an offense created by not being sensitive to their season, but it could be something else. And it's very important to communicate with the people we love, whether they are our friends, our cousin, family members, whoever they are. It's important to keep that line of communication open. You may not even understand what season they're in if you don't talk to them. And often when people are talking to us and they're acting and responding to us in a way that we're not used to, it's because of what they're dealing with, and it's because of what they are in. So we have to keep that communication open so that we don't cause that chaos and division, or even the elimination of the friendship. And if we think about it, it's so important to have these friendships, so much so to the point that if we want to go ahead and just stick and follow on with the word, that brotherhood or friendship was so important that in the Bible, in Matthew 5:23, it says that if you are in the temple offering a sacrifice or a gift unto God, and you remember that your friend is offended by you or has an offense, with you, to leave your gift there and go be reconciled to that friend. That's how important it is for our friendship. So it's not something that we just dismiss. It's something so much that if I did something to hurt this person, the word says, leave it there. God is saying, leave the sacrifice and go be reconciled first. So it's very important in just keeping in with the flow. We have to keep other people out and talk to the people we have the conflict with. We don't need these people's opinion. I don't need your opinion on it, this one's opinion on it, your thoughts on it. You need to be in communication with that specific individual to find out what's going on and to deal with it. If you let's go over to Matthew 18 and where are we at? Matthew 18 and 15. The first thing it says that if your brother, sister has offended you, go privately to that person and deal with that issue. It does later talk about if it doesn't work, then bring in 2 or 3 witnesses. But notice, if you will, it first said go privately. And I just want to go to that and read that verbatim from Matthew 18:15. This is the Living Bible paraphrase version. It says, if a brother sins against you, go to him privately and confront him with his fault. If he listens and confesses it, you have won back a brother. It first, before it said anything about bringing 2 others with you and all of that, the first thing it says is go privately. It was very specific in saying go privately. So the first thing we need to do, if there's an issue with a friend, whether we're the person whose season is dealing with a different season, or we're the other friend and we just don't understand where our friend is in their life, it's important to go to that individual by yourself. You don't need an entourage with you. Hello, because sometimes the entourage brings in more confusion that was there in the first place, putting their opinions and thoughts and personal feelings on it. But you need to go to your friend, your sister, your cousin by yourself and work that out and understand where they are in their life. And once you have an understanding of where they are in their life or what's going on with them, then you can deal. If that friendship is that important to you, if you value that friendship, you then can come to that person and deal with that person according to where they are. Like, I understand where she is. And then you have to be sensitive enough to make an adjustment for the friendship so that it can survive. So it's not about changing who you are. It's not about following the pattern of what we see on faux TV, reality TV. But we can't pattern our friendships and relationships based off of what we see on TV. That's for entertainment. And there's nothing valuable about that. And that's important to see, because it's always conflicts being shown on TV, especially with women and friendships. And that's not the way a true friendship works. True friendships, it takes work, it takes effort, it takes me shutting up and listening to you, it takes you shutting up and listening to me, and it takes understanding of where each person is in. So make sure you understand the season that the people in your life that you love are dealing with, and you can have prosperous and healthy and godly friendships.